Hey folks, welcome back to Trusted Pipeline Advisor, where we dive into the nuts and bolts of pipeline integrity, failures, and hopefully, how to stop them before they happen.
Good to be here. And yeah, today we've got a doozy. We're talking about a recent pipeline failure, what went wrong, and more importantly, what we can learn from it.
Yeah, and let's be real. When a pipeline fails, it's never just about one thing. There's always a whole mix of factors, right?
Oh, absolutely. And this one, classic case of internal corrosion getting way out of hand.
All right, so let's set the stage. This failure happened in December 2024 on a pipeline moving, let's just say a certain mix of hydrocarbons. Now, right away, the investigation pointed to a pretty big red flag: accelerated internal corrosion.
Yeah, and the root cause? You're going to love this. Upstream well pad behavior.
Oh man, I've seen this before. So what, some kind of nasty sludge or debris getting into the line? Bingo. When those wells get restarted, there's a big ol' surge of liquid production. And if you've got biomass, sludge, or any debris sitting around in the wellbore, it's getting blasted straight into the pipeline?
And that stuff is like a pipeline's worst nightmare, right?
Exactly. You get these under-deposit corrosion zones, little pockets where that gunk just sits there and eats away at the pipe. And in this case, it took the corrosion rate from a normal 0.15 to 0.33 millimeters per year all the way up to 1.0 millimeters per year. That's 10 times the usual rate.
That's brutal. And I bet the failure location was at the low spots where all that sludge settles, huh?
Nailed it. Plus, if you look at past failures in this field, same story, different pipe. They had a failure in March 2024, another in April, and now this one in December. The pattern's clear. Every time there's a well shut in and restart, the risk skyrockets.
Okay, so let's talk about solutions. What can operators do to, not have this happen?
Well, first off, pigging. You've got to get aggressive. Daily pigging right after startup to clear out debris before it can settle. Then corrosion inhibitors, but not just any inhibitors. You got to apply them after mechanical cleaning so they actually reach the pipe wall. And the big one, upstream well monitoring. If you know a surge is coming, you can slow down the startup process and avoid hammering the pipe with all that debris.
Makes sense. And here's a wild thought. What if they just didn't restart wells so aggressively?
Right. It's all about managing those transient production surges. And honestly, the industry's got to catch up on this. Most failure investigations focus on metallurgical analysis, like, hey, look, there's corrosion here. But they don't always dig into why the well is behaving this way in the first place.
Right, and here's a kicker. This isn't just a one-field problem. This kind of failure is responsible for 90% of pipeline leaks in Western Canada.
Yeah, it's industry-wide. The whole basin deals with this. And honestly, it's time for some proactive thinking, like reworking well startup procedures and even looking at downhole pump design to minimize slugging.
All right, last question. If you're an operator listening to this and you've got pipelines tied to Montney wells, what's your one big takeaway?
Simple. Don't treat pigging and inhibitors like a checkbox. The game changer is monitoring those well startup behaviors and getting in front of the problem before it lands in your pipeline.
Boom. Well, there you have it, folks. If you want to keep your pipelines out of trouble, stay ahead of the game. And hey, if you like this episode, hit that subscribe button, share it with your team, and let's keep pipelines safe and sound.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe out there, and we'll catch you next time on Trusted Pipeline Advisor.